Yeah, you know. Why didn't put it in? I figured, well, I'm just going from my car to the house, and I'll be driving in the garage, so.
All right, we're ready.
Where is it, please, last? Oh,
Okay. I'd like to call this meeting of the Fraser Park Public Utility District regular state planning and project meeting for Thursday, December 21st, 2023 to order at 4:25 p.m. Additional teleconference location 820 Elm Trail, Fraser Park, California 93225. Okay, if we can do the pledge to the flag. Okay, ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the
Pledge
flag
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Call of directors, Director Garcia,
here.
Director Nyman,
Here.
Director Kelly.
Here.
And Director Gibson.
here,
And I'm Director Schoenberg and I am here. Okay, we're all present. Item number 2, discussion vote adjust agenda if necessary. No adjustments?
I don't think so.
Okay, moving on to item 3, public comments. Are there any public comments, items not listed on the agenda, limited to approximately 5 minutes? Thank you. Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna move on to item 4, standing committee reports, accounts payable committee.
We met, looked through the invoices, asked Deborah to cut the checks, and we'll discuss everything in financial.
Okay, state update meeting committee.
Oh.
The state one.
State update.
State, well, we met with the state today. Everything is basically gonna be covered on all the others, so we'll just, we'll update it at each item.
That's good.
Okay. Any questions before I move on to item 5? Item 5, ad hoc committee reports, project committee,
We did not meet.
financial committee,
We did not meet.
generator pad construction committee.
We did not meet.
Okay,
That would
moving
be,
on to item number 6, financial business, discussion vote on accounts payable and financial information. Deborah, you're on.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
yeah.
yes,
Okay. So we cut 8 checks out of the revenue operating account for a total of $7,888.49. There were no extraordinary disbursements. However, there was a debit payment out of the bank account for deluxe pre-printed deposit slips for $170.77.
That was me.
Okay.
That's it.
I just wanted to say, we got a bill for Zito that they hadn't billed us since April. So that was $1,246. We have since canceled that internet service. And with that, I'll make a motion that we pay our bills.
I'll second that one.
Okay, any discussion before I do a roll call of directors? Okay, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
aye,
and Director Schoenberg is an aye, so that motion passes 5-0-0. We are paying our bills.
Okay, and just an update as the treasurer, I did make the, adjustment to the, long-term account. I was reduced it to $10,000 and, and then I put $10,000 going into the, general fund.
For a year?
I did it indefinite. We'll visit it at where we're at as we get to where we think we should be at. Or Terry will be responsible for that.
Thank you,
Okay.
Deborah. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Okay, so moving on to unfinished business. We're going to, I think, go ahead and go into the closed sessions briefly, Dee, with you, just to catch up. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's like nodding, yes, okay. Okay, so oral announcement prior to closed session, Government Code 54957.7A. A representative of the legislative body to orally announce the items to be discussed in closed session prior to any closed session meetings. Item 7, closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957. Conference with real property negotiators, Government Code 54956.8. The property in question is 255-320-28. Agency negotiators Lisa Schoenberg, Brahma Nyman, and Dee Jasper. Negotiating parties Veronica Alcaraz and Carlos Salcedo. Under negotiation, price and terms of payments. Item number 8, closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code 54956.8, property in question 256-070-54 and 256-07055. Agency negotiators, Lisa Schoenberg, Brahma Nyman, and Dee Jasper. Negotiating parties, Jeff French and Emily Wainwright. Under negotiation, price and terms of payments. So with that, we are going, there's a question. Recuse.
Yes, please.
Okay, so our director, Garcia, is recusing himself from this conversation. And we are going to, we'll come back out and get you. You're gonna be in your car? Okay, so, we are going into closed session at 4:31 PM. And, hopefully we won't be very long. We're just, as far as I know. Thank you. We on? Waiting for Director Garcia to come back in, but we are coming out of closed session into open session at 4:49 PM. And there was no action taken in the closed session. Yeah.
Doing its thing.
Okay, we're just waiting another minute for, here we go. So,
And Director Gibson isn't,
oh, Director Gibson isn't
she's
back
waiting
here.
for the auto.
Oh, here
Okay,
we
she's
go.
back, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I believe we have all the board members back. We're going on to item number 9, discussion vote update on Fraser Park, Lake of the Woods Consolidation Planning Project. 9A, discussion vote review of the project timeline and extension.
Did you guys talk to Lauren?
We can just quickly go through it. Basically, the MOU original date was March of 2024. We pushed that to December of 2024. Then the draft engineering report is completed. The final engineering report will be January 2024. The draft and plan specs are July 2024. Final plans and specs is December 2024. And construction application is January 2025. So those are basically the changes. We're still waiting for the approval of the 6-month extension, which is already up at his upper management. But he just wanted to confirm all the dates, and we confirmed the dates today. And so he'll make sure that that gets on to them so they can finalize this extension. But that may take a few months, but that's what happened with that.
Okay, moving on to, is there any discussion on that or questions before we move on to 9B? Okay, 9B is discussion vote on the budget adjustments.
I'll just bring us up to date on that. Back on November 9th, we made a request to the state, Lawrence Sanchez, to increase the budget by $35,197.66, which would reduce the engineering design. He has not approved that at this point. So what we had to do, and that'll come up when we go over the claims, that we had to take $3,000, because we would have been $3,000 over on the claim. We had to take that out of this current claim, which will be put into the next claim, because he did not want to decrease the budget until he gets figures from D for the overall project, that because of all the increases from the time it's taken us and inflation and everything, he wants whatever's left in the budget for him to give budget numbers so that they can request more money. And then at that point, he'll make the approval for us to make this line item adjustment. So hopefully next month we'll be able to put those invoices in, and he should have that. He's going to work to have that by January 11th. And is there anything else, Dee, that I missed?
No, that's it. That's a good summary of it, Ron.
Okay, any other questions on that before I move on to item 9C? Okay, this 9C discussion vote update on the standby fee assessment and funding. That was addressed in
Yeah.
the state update.
Yeah.
Oscar, either one of you want?
I can, it's just, it said the work plan has been submitted, to his, upper management, and we're just waiting. Probably won't be done until maybe January because the holidays and everything.
Anything to add to that?
Not me.
No.
Moving on to item 9D, discussion vote on the project technical memo.
Working on it. Targeting submittal in January. Hopefully I can get it out. I don't know how many days I'm gonna work over Christmas and the holidays, but I will be working most of them. So we might even have it to that point by that time, but we signed that. We assigned that time,
Okay,
January.
okay, any questions for Dee before I move on? Okay, 9E, discussion vote on the acquisition and development of well number 8 property. We just need to adjust, what we did last, meeting, in case someone wasn't here. Anyone wanna just,
We're
We did a
still,
resolution.
we're still in negotiations. Oh, this is well 8.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we did, the last meeting we did,
public hearing?
public hearing, and we passed a resolution of necessity. Which meant that we will be going possibly to eminent domain, litigation. However, we're hoping that we still can work with, CNC Properties to resolve the issue before we end up having to file for court.
Any other questions in regard to that?
Do you know how long it's gonna take?
What,
Well, we just,
the court thing?
Yeah.
we don't,
He was saying that he.
We haven't even filed yet, right?
We haven't
No, we
filed
haven't
yet.
filed yet.
It's with the attorney, so.
With the attorney, and
So
he's carefully wording everything because of the way
no, just, they're just doing what they have
I have
to
to
do.
do, yes, and hopefully sometime next year. I mean, January.
Okay, moving on to 9F, discussion vote on the acquisition development of well number 9 property.
We're still in negotiations with Emily Wainwright and Jeff French, and he is, we sent them an updated with a line lot moval. We're still talking about, and we will be meeting with them sometime in January because Jeff French is gone for vacation.
Okay, anything else on either of those? Okay, moving on to item 9G. 9G is actually tabled. That's the sphere of influence map, although that will be coming up when we discuss the LAFCO items, but for now, we will keep it on the table. 9H, discussion vote on project municipal services review, the MSR, quote draft MSR, data collection, scope of work, and LAFCO.
I would just say the MSR has been forwarded to Lake of the Woods, also to Carlos. And then the ad hoc committee, the project committee has everyone has the MSR here. So we will be reviewing it to make sure that it is changed as it should be.
Lake of the Woods did not have it, and it just got.
Right, they
forwarded
just
today.
got forwarded to them. And I guess we have in here the LAFCO application. Did that come from you, Carlos?
Yeah, it came from me. There's a couple of things I need to update. Like I need to know if the area changed from the previous one I had. If it did, then I need to change it, but it did come from me.
And
Okay. Yeah, I have a few that I need to bring up, and maybe they're right or wrong. But on number 3,
go to 2 first.
I'll go to 2.
So 2 does not have the agency names correct. It just says Fraser Park - Lake of the Woods area annexation. I believe you probably need to reword that.
Fraser Park, FPPUD.
Yeah, go ahead and you guys can write your comments down and then send them to me and I'll fix them.
Well, let's go over them now because I mean, we can send that to you. We'll have Tiffany mark it up and send it to you. But
Okay.
I want to go over it to make sure that we're all clear and on the same page.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So on number 3, it says nature of proposal. You have in there Lake of the Woods Mobile Village Water System. We need to remove that.
Yeah, and
It's
I
being
thought I had-
filed.
I thought I had removed
Yeah.
it, but I'll have to go through it and check, cause,
Well, we also need to look at, before we move, do anything or submit this. There were some questions about which map we're actually going to submit to them for both the annexation and sphere of influence. Or which map was submitted last, I should say. So I think we need to get from them the actual map that was last submitted and make
Yeah,
sure,
it's a
because
map.
one of those.
it's a map that was submitted 11/15 of 22. I have it here.
Okay, good.
And that's the one,
So-
the most recent one that D sent me, which was, 11/15
That
of
was the
22.
question, because he was talking about the twenty
And
seventeen.
is it still correct, Dee, that it's 17 individual properties with wells that are proposing to annex?
I don't know. I'll have to go back and look.
Okay, so that's something that, Carlos, you need to verify with Dee, to make sure that we have, because I know that there were some that we're adding in, or that we, just make sure that we have that correct, so then further on in the application, number 12, it says.
Before we go there, it looked like under 5C.
Wait, I got a comment on 4B,
Okay, let's go to 4B then.
but because it says that Fraser Park and Lake of the Woods are located in southern Kern County along, Cuddy Creek and Fraser Mountain Road, 3 to 5 miles west of I-5 in the community of Lebec.
Yeah, that's
Is that
correct.
right?
Should that be from 3 to 5 miles west of I-5 and
And the community.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, okay, that's correct. Okay.
Correct enough.
Okay.
Okay, well, but I was concerned about 5C. It had nothing under it. I believe that, we have to put something. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I do have it. I just haven't transferred it over from the old application that I had.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I also had a question on 8C, which was not checked off.
Because that's either or, so I'm pretty sure we did the petition, right?
We did.
And the resolution is, do all 100% of the landowners consent to the
I
reorganization?
don't believe so. I
Yeah,
don't believe so, but it's
so,
okay. It just,
So I
yeah,
put
because it
no.
says petition, and then it says blank, it says whatever petition, then it says or resolution, so I just chose the petition on that one, because I think that's what we did.
Oh,
So you don't
sorry.
need-
Oh, okay. So you really don't need it.
No, you don't have to check C, because it says
Because
or,
it has the or.
oh, okay. I
One
see.
or the other.
Okay.
and then
Got
we
it.
will,
Okay.
we will need all the letters of consent.
Yeah, D has all those.
Yeah,
Johnny was
Oh,
saying
wait a minute.
something about.
What letters do I have?
Dave Warner is the one that had all the letters.
Dave
Oh.
Warner had the letters.
okay, then I'll have to check through all my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would imagine there'll be, I'd imagine there's gonna be a couple more people, like the lady next to well 9 had expressed an interest in it. Because it's been so, she bought the house after he went around to everybody.
Is that something that we should be,
Redoing?
asking at this point?
It's a lot of work, but
I don't think we can ask that because unless they're already in the map. So if it affects the map, then no, we don't want to ask that. If it doesn't affect the map and they're already included in the annexation portion of the map, then it's fine.
Well,
We're not
I
gonna
think
do
like,
another map. We've already done multiple maps.
I think like Dee was saying, they can be annexed after the fact.
Yep.
Well, yeah, with a big process, but yes, they're gonna have to. be.
And how much is that gonna cost them?
It's gonna cost them.
A lot.
Right.
But,
I don't know
okay,
that, I don't know it's a lot, but it will cost them to, for the annexation procedure to go forward, but.
Is she a new buyer? Did she
believe
just buy this property?
Yes, she did.
Ah,
think so.
Yeah, that's- you just said.
So the one that Johnny said?
Yeah, she just bought.
Yeah.
Well, last month,
Fact.
after we went, so she bought it after we went door to door and asking if they wanted to join, and a previous owner said no, and now she's saying that she would like to.
mm,
The problem with that is that we'll never get this submitted to LAFCO if we don't stop, because we've already spent a considerable amount of money redoing the map. And unfortunately, they should have disclosed that. That would have been something that a property owner should have disclosed in the sale, but I'm sure they didn't. But, yeah, I don't think that that's,
Well, there's nothing set in stone. She didn't say, I want to
Okay,
involve myself.
all right, we can,
She just had mentioned, oh, well, maybe that's something you need to talk to my husband about, and maybe we want to do it, so.
Okay.
Very iffy, so we'll worry about that when we get to that point.
they're not completely excluded because, and that's why we also did the thing with the mobile home park, is that we left a way to hook up should he change his mind in the future. So I think we tried to be pretty careful about that.
We've also set a precedent about setting a meter within our district boundary. So we're running right in front of all them houses. So if they wanted a line, we could set the meter out there on the road and then they could not
Get a line
spend
into
extra
their
money.
property, correct?
Yeah. We've already done that with at least the fire station.
I mean, we're 10 years into this
Um,
deal, aren't we?
What was that?
yes,
We're
Is
10
that-
years into this
years.
deal, aren't we?
we're 10 years into this deal.
Yeah, from when we
You mean
started,
five-year
yes.
project?
Yes, yes. So anyways, let's move on to 12. Number 12, I think we need to put no. Am I not correct, Carlos?
That's for
only
cities
city.
only.
Oh,
And so is D on number 10.
okay. Then, I have, the last, I'd say, number 21. You need to add, Ernest Conant's, is it Conant? Or is it Conan?
Conan with a T.
Okay, we need to add the email and phone number.
Why is
Okay.
Ernest still on there?
It shouldn't be Ernest,
It's
yeah.
wrong.
I mean, it should be.
Ernest is no longer.
Because-
even doing
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
Ernest
Alan
was
Al.
Ernest was on there because he was the one when I filled out the application initially.
Years ago.
And
Alright, so.
I didn't
so
know
we
he had
need- we
changed,
need
so
Alan Dow.
yeah, I'll put
Alan
Alan
Dow
down.
and his email. And then you also need to put Johnny's email and phone
Yes,
number on there. And then you need to change 22 to Lisa Schoenberg, because she's the president. She will be the
Next
president. Next, well, yeah, but when we submit it, she'll be the president. And she'll have to sign. So that's
Yeah.
all I had. Know if anybody else had anything else.
and
Yeah,
D
What?
did the area change with the new map? And if I can get that, because I have the acreage for Fraser Park and then the acreage for boundary expansion for Lake of the Woods. So if that area changed, I need to get those numbers so I can change them.
Oh, yeah, that's on number 4.
Yeah,
Okay, are there any other questions?
So you're gonna check that out, Dee?
Yeah, yes. Carlos, I'll get together, maybe talk about that in detail, just so I make sure I understand what you want.
Yeah, I'll give you a call, but it's just basically like all the area that's included in Fraser Park and all the area that's included in Lake of the Woods in the sphere of influence map. Like in the old application, I had that Fraser Park was 931.8 acres, and the proposed boundary expansion of 422.5 acres will create the total district area of 1,354.3 acres.
Yeah.
A question on that though, should that be the sphere of influence acreage, or should it be the annexation map? Or do you need to specify and put both? Because the sphere of influence map is different from the annexation map.
It should be the annexation and not the sphere of influence, as far as I understand. Because the application is for annexation. The sphere of influence is the total sphere of influence, but that's not the annexation. Is that correct, Dee?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what was confusing me a little bit. But anyway, we'll double check the acreages, Carlos, and make sure you get the right ones for the annexation.
Okay.
Yeah, against most current map that we submitted. Which was,
Slightly smaller than the
which
sphere
was
of
it,
influence.
which was
22.
was
2022.
2022.
Now we didn't submit an annexation map 2 years ago, or a year ago, for that matter. We submitted a sphere of influence map then, but an annexation map hasn't changed in a long time.
The annexation map didn't change, yeah.
At
Okay,
all.
well, the annexation map was the one that he was talking about then from like 2016 or 17 or whatever.
Yeah, well.
Oh, no, that's true, Dee, that's not true, because we had to add the church, and you did add the church. You didn't just add the church to the sphere of influence, you changed the annexation map.
I'll check all
You did
that.
it, you got a problem.
I know better than to question your memory, so I'll check it out.
Okay,
Yeah, make sure you confer with Carlos and make sure we have the right map and, you know.
because if that is the case, and we never submitted the annexation map since 2017, the annexation map is incorrect. Because the one thing that we were trying to make sure that we had on there at the very least was the Lutheran church.
Because I remember a meeting, Dee, where you hadn't done it, and then we brought it up, and I believe that you went ahead and did the work on that, and it should have been submitted, so.
Wasn't that also that little corner thing?
Yeah, we had to fix the corner also, remember, Dee? That was wrong.
Yep.
On the annexation map.
Yes.
So hopefully we actually submitted the annexation map and not just the sphere of influence. If we didn't, we may need to resubmit. I'm positive you redrew the annexation map correctly, so maybe we just didn't submit it, and if we didn't, we need to.
Did you guys ever watch that movie Gigi, where
Aren't there 3 churches involved?
the where the male character says, "I remember it well," and obviously he didn't, and so I will check it. I will check it.
We appreciate that guy.
That guy. Director Gibson had a question. She asked if there were 3 churches. Weren't there 3 churches involved?
Well, there was the Church of Latter-day Saints, and they did not want to come on board because they had their own well. Then there was the Lutheran Church, I think, that did, and I don't know of another one other than those two.
Maybe
What
the
about
Catholic Church doesn't matter.
Lady of the Snows is already, by virtue of where they're located, I believe in Lake of the Woods, so they're part of the Lake of the Woods. They're not, the issue with the other churches is they're between Lake of the Woods and us, and so that was.
And they were
what was
never
in
part of,
question.
yeah, they were
They're
never
not
part
part of
Lake of the
any
Woods.
specific, entity other than
Okay,
themselves.
and I don't want to bring up anything that, but I believe that after we went and talked to them, the Church of Latter-day Saints came to Johnny and said that their well went dry and they wanted to participate. Does anybody remember back that far?
My understanding as well.
Let's ask Johnny.
I don't remember them coming to me. I remember them going to the state and saying that they weren't offered the
Oh.
opportunity to join. And then the state said we had to open it up for everybody again, which we did. And then whoever decided they wanted to join, D included them. And I am 99% sure he submitted that to LAFCO.
And I think they are
Okay.
included. I thought they should be. So it is actually 3 churches for sure, but one of them is not a separate entity. One of them was already included as Lake of the Woods.
So D, you'll make a note and check all that out.
Got a note, yes.
She said
But
that.
I know.
as
Yeah.
you're talking about this, it's sparking a few of those memory cells a little bit, and I do remember
Yeah,
that, so.
Okay, so I think we've beaten that dead annexation map. Do we want to move on to 9I, the memorandum of understanding is tabled, or do you have anything else? under
before
the-
we do that, there was an agreement in here that's not filled out. What is that?
You want to speak to that agreement, Carlos, the LAFCO agreement? It's not filled out, but I think it was just to kind of have us be able to look at it.
Yeah, that one needs to be filled out there, the indemnification agreements that I sent you guys. So we need 2 of
And
those.
where's fill it out?
What's that?
Are we filling it out?
Yeah,
would we
and
get-
it's gotta be signed. I think it's gotta be signed by your attorney. I don't have it in front of me, but
Yeah.
let me look
So
at
do
it.
we need to send this to our attorney and have him fill this out? Or do we?
Well, basically you can fill out and then your attorney would have to sign it.
Do we have that electronically? In a form that we can alter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you just put the agreement number on top, and then at the bottom you can see that it says it's gonna have to be you put the applicant is Fraser Park, and then at the bottom it has to be signed by executive officer from LAFCO, and then it's gonna be signed by you guys, and then it's gotta be approved
Signed by
as
the
to
attorney.
form by attorney for applicant.
And do you know what the agreement number is? Is that a number from LAFCO or a number from us?
I would think you guys just put an agreement number on there. I don't think it's a number.
So it would basically be a resolution number.
Probably,
Well,
yeah.
they have
But
it in here, it's proceedings for, and I guess that'd be annexation, change of or, described it as resolution of application, resolution number.
Yeah.
So we need a resolution along with this. We have an old one. So we need to work on that. When is that needed, Dean Carlos?
well, we're not gonna submit this till like was it January of no wait. December of
And when we submit this.
2024 or something like that. It's on there in
Oh,
the it's on there in the the
January,
updated, schedule.
January, Carlos. On our.
January 24th.
I think our MSR is January of 24, Carlos.
That's when we're submitting the MSR.
No, the
But-
LAFCO application is like in January of 25 or something like that.
Isn't this, so this application for annexation, when are we submitting that? That's not till,
It's on the updated schedule. Whatever that,
I mean, we're
Schedule.
not gonna do that until we have some kind of funding, because we are not annexing until,
well, we have to have, the thing is we can't submit the annexation
Without the
application
MOU.
without the MOU. And the MOU isn't gonna be done until December of 2024, because in that MOU, we were also have to put in the agreement that unless we get funding from
It's
the
not
federal or
done.
state, that the annexation stops. And if we submit this, once we submit this, we're indemnifying them, would be at that time, if you submit the application, and then we're stuck with the annexation regardless, and then
we're in trouble.
we're in trouble. Well, I want some clarity as to Dee and Carlos as to what
Why
I,
we're looking at this now.
right, I don't have a problem looking at it and we can update it. But I'm questioning whether that application should be submitted.
Until 25.
well, that's on you guys, but that, I was just following the schedule that you guys have on here. That this needs to be, before it needed to be submitted earlier
Oh.
than that, but now it got changed to January
Well,
of 2024, and now you guys were probably gonna have to change it to further along than that.
My understanding is that before we do the annexation, we need to have the MSR completed, which we're saying is going to be in January of 2024. And then we also need to submit the sphere of influence. That sphere of influence is what we need to have agreed upon by LAFCO before we even move into the annexation map. The annexation map, I think, is later, but I do believe that we need the sphere of influence changed via which we had to have an MSR for that before that.
But that sphere of influence map is complete and Dee has submitted that to LAFCO. LAFCO has approved that map.
They've only approved it pending the MSR, which we need the MSR for them to completely approve it. Is that not correct, Dee?
I think that's correct, Lisa. You know, I do know that they don't have any trouble with it. At least that's what we heard verbally. So, you know, we need to get all that in writing
Well-
once we make the submittal.
Right. Well, what we need clarity on, I guess, Dee, is, because we don't want to be submitting an annexation map and a application for annexation that they're going to approve, because the MSR is good for 5 years. And my concern is if we submit for an application, then they put it into place, and once they do it, then we're on the hook. And so until we do the MOU, then at that time, then we should be once we get an MOU agreement with Lake of the Woods completed, and then we can submit all that.
And we even talked about possibly not doing the MOU until we had the construction project money, because it can actually be at the very beginning of the construction, even though we still have it as part of the planning. It can actually be, to my understanding, at the very beginning of the construction. And that's probably what we need to do, because we don't want to have this whole agreement in place and then not get construction money.
But my understanding, from the Gigi film, as I remember, I remember that.
Maurice Chevalier.
Yes, I remember LAFCO saying that the MOU that we could put in the agreement about construction funding and that the annexation won't take place.
They did say that. yes.
so if we do it towards
At the
the
very
end, I think we're okay. You know, because then if it doesn't happen, then we're not, we won't be liable to go forward.
Right.
And we could tell LAFCO no.
You know, I think there's a couple of things that maybe we need a little bit of advice on, and that is from LAFCO, you know, talk with Blair, and maybe we can even have an ad hoc committee that could just be on a phone call. And then also one with Alan Dowd, and just make sure that we get this straight and that we do it in accordance with what the law is. And I'm not
So
clear.
maybe sometime in the beginning of next year, we set up a meeting with the ad hoc, with the project committee to go over this.
Yeah,
And have a meeting with Blair, with Blair.
Yes, I think that would be
Yeah,
good.
because I think you submitted that initial annexation map, which is fine, and then we need to make sure that the secondary one was submitted. But I think that they were saying that until we have the MSR and until we actually submit the application for annexation, that they can be holding onto the map. They look at the map, everything's fine, but it doesn't become anything until the MOU, the MSR, and the application.
I don't know. We'll find
But
out.
we'll have another meeting.
Yeah,
We've had a few. Okay, so I think we've gone over that enough. 9I, the MOU, which is tabled, and that is now changed date of December 2024. So we're not looking at that anytime immediately. So I'm gonna move on to 9J, discussion vote on Lake Lewis projects and consolidation. We have Joan on here. Pam has given us some information. Joan, do you want to give the board some additional information?
Sure. The present grant phase 2, 3.5 million, it's moving along. We expect to be done by the end of February, depending on the weather. We had some timing issues with the holidays and getting the gas company to come up and so on. Sierra is going to be scheduling the pressure testing, the lab testing, and we're putting together our plans right now on how to bring the various sections of the subdivision online. Permanent pavement replacement will probably have to be pushed later in the spring because of the weather. The generator project, we're not going to hear anything on that until later of 2024. The $5 million phase 3 grant, nothing new since the last meeting on that. And well 4 is still offline while we continue to collect data on it. Our iron and our manganese are still higher than we would like them to be. The blending stations are doing amazing. The nitrates are between 3.3 and 4.3 for the month of November, December. The water levels are dropping depending on which well you're looking at. They're dropping some, but overall, compared to where we were last year, we're still way higher or way better on our levels than we were. And that's it. Anybody
Hopefully
have
we're
any
getting
questions?
some rain, maybe we'll get some recharge.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Joan.
Great, thank you, Joan. Any questions for Joan? Okay, moving on to 9K, discussion vote on claim number 37 and other claims and payouts. Carlos.
Okay, I updated the claim from the state meeting. I subtracted that, those charges from D that we can't put on this claim until the budget adjustment has been approved. So board of directors fees, we have $300. We have an invoice from Young and Woolridge, invoice number 106558 for the amount of $2720. And we have invoice from D Jasper and Associates. Oh, actually, we have a staff recovery cost in the amount of $65. And then we have an invoice from D Jasper and Associates, invoice 23-01108. And that's for MSR charges. And that's in the amount of $108.50. Then we have two invoices from D Jasper and Associates, invoice 23-01108 and 23-01110 for engineering report charges, and that totals $2,170. Then we have invoice 23-011111 for well design charges, total $542.50. So this total claim now is $5,906.
Any questions for Carlos?
Nope.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, don't you need to let him know about the typo?
Also, you need to update your cover sheet.
Couple of them.
Yeah,
A couple of
Yeah.
your cover sheets say November and it should be, December.
yes, I'm having some issues with the cover sheets. I've already updated them like 5 times, and for some reason, once I close it and reopen it, it goes back to the same thing I had before. So I'm gonna have to
Okay.
work on that and try to get those corrected.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'll make a motion, that we approve, claim number, 37. In with the invoices that Carlos had stated in the total amount of $5,906. And with the updated cover sheets.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion before we take a roll call vote? Okay, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg is an aye. That motion passes 5-0-0. And so claim number 37 with the amendments has been passed. Okay, moving on to item 10, discussion vote update on FPPUD meter replacement projects and emergency well supply project. 10A, discussion vote update on well number 7. We talked about this a little bit at the state update.
Yeah, basically, well 7, they should have, the amendments. The state has the change orders and it's gone to the upper management for approval. And we should know something with, maybe within the next couple of weeks. You know, so probably by mid-January, we should be getting the total approvals so that we can go forward with closing the well out and with, getting the payments onto our claims.
And it was noted at the state update meeting that even though the board on the last meeting directed General Manager Allison to put a temporary fence up, that temporary fence is not going to go up because there is some fencing going up from the property owners next door. So that kind of negates the need for us to put up the
Temporary.
temporary fencing.
And they know where the property line is.
I believe
Yeah.
it's correct now.
Yeah, D came up and they.
Yeah, I know, we know where ours is, but do they know
They,
where ours is?
yeah, I think
Well, it
that,
doesn't matter, because where they're laying it out, they think their line is off of ours, so it's gonna work out anyway.
In our favor.
Yeah.
I love it.
okay, anything else on 10A?
Nope.
10B, discussion about update on the meter replacement.
Basically, there's no changes. We're waiting on, we're having the meters come in. They've received most of the meters. In January, they'll be doing, going and doing an inventory so that we can verify that they're there, and we'll probably get billing so that we can submit those to a claim. And we're still waiting on the brass fittings, and those are not due till probably February, maybe March. And that was it on the meters.
Any questions on that? Okay, item C, discussion vote on claim number 22 and other claims and payouts.
That's Oscar. It's good to hear you see you here. I hope everything's fine, Oscar.
2022, we have one invoice from D. That's invoice 23-01113. And it is in the amount of $169.50, which brings the total for the claim to $169.50.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve claim number 22, for D Jasper and Associates, invoice, 23-01113, in the amount of $169.50.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call directors. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
And Director Schoenberg is an aye. That motion passes 5-0-0. So we have approved claim number 22 payouts. Okay, moving on to item 10D, discussion about update on bridge loan requests and payments. We have none right now. We're just waiting for, right now we have no need to use that at the moment.
Thank you, Oscar. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad.
Yes, thank you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Moving on, but we still need Carlos. Moving on to 11. Discussion about update on pipeline replacement projects. 11A, discussion vote on potholing and mapping. That is completed, so we just left it on there, but we don't have any additional. 11B, discussion vote on engineering and design.
Basically, D is like 97% done on that. However, we are going to add, the main line from. We're gonna try to add, from McGee Tank Pipeline, because we had major break on that. And it looks like we're gonna be able to do that work, and he'll have it done like in January.
That's between McGee and Wolf.
Between
Between McGee and Wolf. Yeah, Wolf.
Yeah, between McGee and Wolf. So we're gonna try to add that so that that'll be part of this pipeline thing. Is there anything else, Dee?
No, that's it. That's what we discussed. That's what we're planning to do.
Okay, 11C, discussion vote on the engineering contract. There were some questions on.
Oh, I guess the design is, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
So there were some questions on 11C. That really had to do with the engineering contract between G Jasper Associates and Fraser Park Public Utility District. You wanna bring us up to date with what the?
Well, basically, he's working on, he started and he had stopped because we had told him to stop because we weren't sure. And I guess we're going to need a contract when we submit for construction. And so he's gonna go ahead and get a contract together and so we can approve it and submit that with the application.
Any questions on that? Okay, then 11D, discussion vote on the project application, which is in. We're still waiting on a couple of items.
Basically, he'll be submitting once he gets all the engineering, that'll get submitted. We're waiting on the year-end audits, which should be done in January. And Johnny and Tiffany are working on the average billing for Carlos.
My question, does
Yeah.
it, does
D, I have a question.
contract between,
Oh, okay, hold on one second. First we have Director Kelling and then D.
does the contract between D and us need to be done and signed before the application?
It's part of the application, yeah.
Okay,
All right, Dee.
For the construction portion.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Dee.
that'll be the construction management part of that. I did have one question back on item H of, if we may, President
Which one?
Goldberg,
11A, you're saying?
it would be 9H, the MSR.
Yes.
I just wanted to
Okay.
ask Joan a question. Joan, did you get a copy, you and Pam, of the MSR2 review?
Sorry for the delay. We didn't get one, but Carlos did, and so he forwarded it to us today.
Okay, good. I sent it, I didn't have a, yes. I couldn't convert it to anything but a PDF, and the Word was cumbersome for sure, so, okay, just wanted to check.
Okay, so I think we're done with 11, is that correct? And done with that question?
And we're done with Carlos.
Well, I had one
Thanks,
question
everybody.
before,
Have a great
I have a
holiday.
question before I check off. D, that total that you sent me, does that include what Self-Help Enterprises paid for the work? Or does that not include that?
What total are we talking about, Carlos?
The total for the pipeline replacement project of like, you sent me a total of like 9 million something dollars, and then there's the contract that we have with you, which is close to like 900,000 for your engineering work and environmental and the geotechnical, all that stuff so does that total that you sent me of 9 million something include that as a cost, or do we need to include that on top of that?
I think it included it, Carlos, but let me double check that. I'll make a note.
Okay, because if you did, then when you do the budget for this, then we'll just have to highlight what was paid from that's what Lauren stated. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, so yeah, when you check on that, just let me know.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Happy
so I guess that
holidays.
does it for me, and happy holidays to everybody, and
God bless you, brother.
Thank you.
we'll be talking to you guys after the holidays sometime.
Next
Merry
year.
Christmas.
All right, have a good night.
Good night.
Merry Christmas,
Okay,
Carlos.
Moving on to item 12, discussion about update on Cal OES Community Power Resiliency Allocation to Special Districts Grant. 12A, discussion about update on purchase of the generators.
Still waiting on the load banks.
Okay, and 12, any questions for Johnny or anyone else?
Nope.
Okay, and 12B, discussion about update on the generator
We
pads.
can remove that. We've already determined we're not
We're-
pouring pads.
Right, we're just doing,
We're just doing some gravel
in-house.
and maybe railroad ties or something.
But when are we?
but I think there still needs to be updates on there, so I think it just needs to be changed from generator pads to,
Well, it's still a pad,
There's still a pad.
technically.
And the
Well,
generator's still gonna go.
Technically, Curtis said, all we need is a gravel bed.
But it has to be.
I
flat.
said, well, maybe we'll add some, it's all gonna depend on
cost.
how I can get whatever's gonna lift them into that area, and whether or not we could effectively lift it up high enough to get them onto a path, because one of the ways that they're placed into position by PTS is if you can't get it lifted into position, you gotta put pipes down, you gotta roll it along that. If that's the case, we're not gonna be lifting it up and putting it on any kind of railroad ties, because we won't be able to lift it up there. So that's why I'm just leaving it wide open, but you could put final placement of generators,
Yeah,
Okay.
and then whatever is the
Take the
best
wording.
situation at the time is what we're gonna do with it.
okay, good.
Okay.
But
Just change the verbiage.
aren't we gonna at least do the gravel
Yeah, like
before?
I said, gravel, yeah,
We're gonna do the gravel way before,
but the gravel is just gravel, so that's easy, that's
right?
spreading out gravel. So yeah, that's all I'm saying, is it's gone from a pad to just placement of the generators.
Right. Well, I guess we need, when did PTS say they're gonna do the load banks?
Time around January or February when the load banks get here.
Because my
But
concern,
for that matter,
Okay.
if they got the load banks, they could test them right here.
right, but my
yard.
concern is, because we wanna do it all at the same time. I don't want them to get the load banks and then say, we wanna immediately deliver that shit.
Okay, you didn't hear what I just said. If they got them and they wanted to deliver them, they could put them in the yard right here and fire them up right in the yard.
But then we still have to pay again when we for placement of them.
Well, their delivery
That's neither here, that's.
We're doing the placement.
We're doing the placement anyway, so. I mean, if you want me to speed that process up and get them placed there, I'll be happy to do it. I just haven't had time with all my, 200,000 gallons of water washing. through the
Right,
house.
I'm not,
But no, I'm just saying,
you, John.
I'm done.
that's what I'm saying. I understand that. I'm just saying that the one, it doesn't have anything to do with the other. The putting the load banks on could be done no matter what, but
Anywhere.
I will speed up the process to get them placed in their spot, but we're also gonna have to pay a fence company to come out here. Because I don't know how to stretch fence again, so I gotta drop some fences at certain places. Put the generators there and then have, probably, Lamont fence come up here and stretch it back tight again.
And because of weather considerations and things, that's probably not gonna happen right away, so we're
I
kind of
mean,
waiting
we'll
to
see.
find out.
I mean, I'll speed it along, cause we've been needing to do it anyway, now is about the time that we need to do it, so I'll get the quote.
After the
on
holidays, Johnny, I'll come in and we'll sit down and figure out the questions we need to ask, the equipment, capabilities. And, get a little game plan for each location, so we know which one goes where and which ones are gonna pose the problems or hazards. And which ones are pretty much straightforward.
Okay, I can already tell you that, but, yeah,
Well,
I already know
I
the
think-
issues.
I think also one of the concerns is financially, we kind of need to know, so we've got.
Well, that's why I've
money
been,
available.
well, that's why I've been putting everything off anyway, because I keep on hearing how broke we are.
Right.
So I haven't spent the money, the thousands of dollars to rent the equipment to lift it, because that's what I've been hearing. So now they want me to speed it along, I will certainly speed it along.
I'm
Because I would like to get them up there too. I would like to get
I
them.
don't know if we want, just because
No,
Director Knapp is
no.
asking a question.
No,
doesn't mean
my
that we
question,
voted to speed
no,
it
the
along.
only question, what I'm saying is that when we get the load banks, we wanna do everything at the same time when we rent the equipment. So I just wanna make sure that we're prepared with the gravel, that the gravel's in place, or we, I, however you need to coordinate it, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that when we do it, we wanna do it all at the same time, because we don't wanna rent that equipment twice.
Do we need equipment to move the load
Yes.
banks, Johnny?
Load banks are gonna be bolted right on top of the generators.
And they will install them wherever the generators are. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
but I mean, I'm just gonna, I'll get them placed. I'll get them there. I'll get the gravel put down next week. And then we'll get the generators up there. It's not a problem.
But the load banks will be able to be put up there without renting other equipment?
The load banks are just gonna be hand lifted up on top of each generator and bolted on and wired in.
I don't know how big
Yeah.
they are, so I'm not,
I don't know exactly how big either, but that has nothing to do with us. That has to do with PTS Rentals. That's
Placing
part
them
of
and
their,
installing them.
their part of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
that's all they
wherever
can
the-
install them. They gotta get them up there to install them.
Wherever the generators are, PTS has to put the load banks on top of the generators
Okay.
physically
okay.
and test them. We thought that they had to be completely installed first, but really it goes on top of the generator, so therefore, wherever the generators are, it can be done.
Installed there.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have them in place so they could actually run the picture
Yeah,
with them hooked up and running.
Dee, you have something to add?
Yeah, not for that. I have to excuse myself. I have a 6 o'clock appointment. For the last 20 some odd years, my two daughters and I meet on Thursday night to buy Christmas presents for Gail. So we
Okay.
go out to dinner.
Well, Merry Christmas,
Merry
Dee.
Christmas, Dee.
Thank you, Dee. I hope
Okay,
you have a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year.
thank you.
God bless you,
And
Dee.
we'll be bugging you in January.
Oh, already.
You don't need a.
Merry Christmas, Dee. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you, everyone.
See you next year.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so with that, we're ready to move on to item 13?
Please.
Okay, item 13, discussion vote update on the district's water tank repair annual replacements and funding.
Before Tiffany gives the update on the money, supposedly Superior Tank thinks that they might be able to do some type of a repair and make the tank good again. So I sent them the video of the last dive. I doubt seriously that they're correct in that. I've had people look at it before, and this guy looked at the outside of the tank, but didn't look at the dive report. So just so you know, I did send that to him.
I got it uploaded.
Yeah, it took a day. It took a full
Oh,
day
gosh.
to attach that simple little file.
Thank you, AT&T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Tiffany can get the update on important stuff.
So I was able to email and regular mail the grant application to the county last Friday. It went out on time. So for the total project cost, the estimate from D. Jasper and Associates was $1,158,000. So we committed $250, but that's what it's looking like now. But I have no idea till we hear back from them either way. I think it's gonna take them a long time to look
Right.
at all the applications, so.
So if we get the grant, we're putting up $250,000.
Yeah.
And a question, if we are able to do a repair on that tank, which we probably will not be able to do, but if we were able to do a repair on it, is that grant transferable to our other tank that also needs?
I don't know that because right now we named parcel B. So I don't know if it's transferable. They did say in parts of the application that, that funding will be given priority to agencies who are willing to commit funds. So it may help bump us to the top. I mean, I don't know, but they like to hear that agencies are willing to kick in.
Help ourselves, absolutely. Invest in our own system.
Right.
Supposed to look like, this is what they do look like. So
Yeah,
that's,
it's highly unlikely that we do a little bit.
I mean, the only way they'd be able to do it is just simple the whole tank and sandblast and then redo it. That's sand in the bottom, but.
Yeah,
So I think if they try to even tighten these bolts, they're just gonna shear off.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, if the tank was empty and they could do. But how corroded is it around the bolts? It's still corroded around the bolts.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Everything.
These are bolts.
It's miles of rust,
Chip.
clumps of rust.
And the coating on the outside of the
Yeah.
tank is damaged as
Wiggle
well.
it a little.
And forever. So there's those big old
So
knobs.
all the crap goes into the water, the other half
So-
falls outside.
There's nothing, in my opinion, the only way they could do it, and it would probably cost, like most things, it costs more to disassemble something carefully recoated than it would be just to put a new tank up.
Yeah,
Well, we'll wait for
we'll see.
the estimate.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions on item 13? Okay, do we want to recess or we?
No, it's power.
New business. Item 14, discussion vote on mainline extension for Kiwanis Trail.
Okay, they paid, apparently they paid the $9,000, which I wasn't aware of, so they paid that. Santana was getting together the bonds for his part. And then he's gonna give them to me as soon as he can. I thought he'd get them to me before this meeting, but he obviously didn't do that, so, he'll be getting all that stuff together. And, which is good. I mean, personally, since we hire Santana to work for us all the time anyway, I don't see why that part is necessary since he's doing the work, the same work that he did for us 100 times before, but he's still getting that stuff together for you. And, since I'm not sure, because that's an ancient mainline extension policy, we really need to decide to spend some money on having that redone, something with current knowledge of what it usually takes. So if you guys want to decide that at some point, maybe we should put that on the agenda
I
to
agree.
update the mainline extension policy.
Yes.
Cause it's very
That's that.
confusing to me. So when I get it back, I'm gonna give it to you guys and you decide what you wanna do with it.
So this Kiwanis Trail
Is an existing house.
is an existing house, and how many feet is the,
I'm just gonna guess 150.
I was gonna say, it's like three houses
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, and big lots, and there's
Yeah.
there's actually already a connection, from the way it looks in the road, whenever they put the new valves in down Pine Canyon, there's already a valve going the way it needs to go, so they'll just have to tie in on that. The plus side of this is they'll run it down Kiwanis, and then the way I had them design it was to put a fire hydrant at the termination of that. So if we ever decide to connect to it again, we can connect to a blind flange. And there's a hydrant which adds fire protection to the street and to the neighborhood. So that way we could blow it off because the water will get stagnant with only one house.
And what is if we had, so.
So basically, they've paid to buy into the system,
Right.
but they are paying, so
Oh,
normally.
they're paying.
They're
Santana,
paying. for
Oh,
the
they're
main
paying
line
Santana,
extension.
so it's not costing us.
No, they're paying for the hydrant, the valves, the piping,
Okay,
and everything.
Yeah, because
that was my
normally,
concern.
normally we'd possibly be paying for it or they'd be paying for it and we'd have, so really our only part is that we have to pay for our engineer to make sure that their engineering is correct.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah. And they built the house and then they came and said, oh, I built the house. Can I have water?
Yeah, thanks, county.
Yeah, that was 100% the county.
Yeah, I watched that house go up.
Ouch.
It's crazy.
I even
It
called
was
the county
broken into
halfway
so
through
many
and told
times.
them, what are you doing letting them get to this point without a will serve letter? Oh, yeah, we'll have to get on that. You let them complete the house.
Yes.
So the county is not working with us right now.
Okay,
And that house was
so,
broken into so many
is there
times, it was
anything we
quite
need to vote on that, or we're just?
Not until you get all the stuff.
We just need D at some point,
More
once we
information.
have the plans from
He's
Santana.
already,
you looked
we've
at it?
already done all
No,
that, yeah.
because they did,
We've done all that. We've already
Yeah,
submitted
submitted.
everything to Curtis. It went back to Santana. Santana knows what has to be done. I'll inspect the project. So that part's good.
And it's paid for.
All it is having the bonds to your guys' satisfaction, which again, hopefully that's not a sticking point at any point, because if we paid for it, I'd have Santana doing it. So it's usually because you don't trust your contractor,
Right,
but we do. So, hopefully he gets the bonds here and then we're good.
okay.
We're set. Any other 14? Okay, item 15, discussion vote on resolution FP 2023-1221-01. Resolution for change of officers of the district authorized banking. This is our boilerplate, basically resolution with the new positions in place. And I don't think we actually even have any other changes on it. It's just which, so it needs to be introduced by a director and that director's name will go on to the resolution. And then we have, the seats already there. We have the credit card program already there, alternate.
Okay.
credit,
I
blah,
did
blah,
have
blah.
one, did have one question, on Joyce. She doesn't get the view and print statements?
It doesn't make sense for her to have the bank
Okay.
access.
It needs the bank access,
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Well, I don't have bank access.
Oh,
Uh,
but
Yeah.
the bookkeeper does.
Yeah, the bookkeeper has access. Obviously, they have access, you'll have access.
And you
Yes,
see
right.
a T0 in there, the following be authorized to make phone inquiries. You cut off the T.
Okay. Okay,
But
Um,
you and I don't have to go to the bank and get any banking access.
we don't
You
have
said-
to go to the bank. Why would we have to go to the bank? We're the
Well, I don't-
administrator.
Okay.
Either me or Lisa can go on and,
Fix it.
You only have to read the part that's red, right?
yeah, so I'm not
Okay.
reading the whole thing. Before the Board of the Directors of Fraser Park Public Utility District Resolution Number FP 2023-1221-01 in the matter of FPPUD financial accounts held at California Bank and Trust, board positions, account signers, and account designations. Now therefore be resolved that the following authorized as the primary signers to make deposits, sign checks, drafts, making withdrawals from our accounts at California Bank and Trust Fraser Park Branch, effective December 9th, 2021. Gerald Garcia, Director.
Before you go there, you're the director making that.
Yes,
this
I'm making-
Motion, correct?
I'm the one making the motions.
Okay,
Gerald Garcia, Director, Vice President, seat 1. Rebecca Gibson, Director, JPIA Representative, seat 2. Brahma Nyman, Director, Secretary, seat 3. Lisa Schoenberg, Director, President, seat 4. And Terry Kelly, Director, Treasurer, seat 5. And further resolved that the Credit Card Program Administrator, Treasury Management Administrator, and Administrator of Online Banking Access shall be Lisa Schoenberg, Director, President, seat 4. Further resolve the alternate Credit Card Program Administrator, Treasury Management Administrator, and Administrator Online Banking Access shall be Brahma Nyman, Director, Secretary, seat 3. And the other change is further be resolved that the following be authorized to make, should be 2, make phone inquiries regarding the FPPUD revenue operating account at California Bank and Trust, Fraser Park Branch, effective December 21st, 2023. Joyce Angel, Billing Clerk, FPPUD. So I make a motion that we approve resolution number FPP 2023-1221-01, FPPUD financial accounts held at California Bank and Trust, board positions, account signers, and account designations with the changes that I mentioned.
do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, any other discussion before we take a roll call vote? Okay, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Kelly, Director Gibson,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg is an aye. That motion is 5-0-0. That motion passes. So we have adopted resolution FP 2023-1221-01.
If you guys don't mind, while you guys do the minutes, I'm at home, my kids are home by themselves right now. I don't do minutes anyway. Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas to you too.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on item number 16, review and approve meeting minutes for 10/10/2023 AP Standing Committee.
Moved it down.
Somebody was, oh, the auditor was writing on the board.
I make a motion that we approve accounts payable standing committee, meeting minutes for Tuesday, October 10th, 2023, 11 a.m. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye, so those minutes are passed. 10/10/2023 AP Standing Committee 5-0-0.
I make a motion that we approve the regular meeting minutes for Thursday, October 12th, 2023, 6 p.m. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions? Okay, roll call directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman, Director Kelly,
Oh, aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg is an aye, so
Director Kelly. Aye.
yeah, okay, so 10/12. It's getting to be that time. That's 5-0-0. The minutes are passed for the 10/12/2023 regular meeting.
I make a motion that we approve the quarterly financial standing committee minutes for Tuesday, October 17th, 2023, 11 a.m. with any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye, so the 10/17/2023 quarterly financial standing committee meeting minutes are passed 500.
I make a motion that we approve the accounts payable standing committee meeting minutes for Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, 11 a.m. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye, so the 10/24/2023 AP standing committee meeting minutes are passed 500.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the state planning and project meeting regular minutes for Thursday, October 26th, 2023 at 4 p.m. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments for typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg is an aye, so the 10/26/2023 regular state planning and project meeting minutes have been passed 500. Okay, on to item number 17, discussion vote on future agenda items. So we already got that we're going to discuss the mainline extension. Anything else?
And per your request 1 year ago, you wanted to start reviewing the billboard leases in January before the March approval. So we'll have that on there.
Excellent, excellent.
And then I said something earlier today for you to put on.
Oh, today's you told me to put on the
I forget.
update mainline extension policy and
Was something from the state?
was it
update?
something from the state update?
Yeah.
Oh, I transferred it to my notes, so
Okay.
I have it on there.
Okay, good. Then I don't have to think about it.
Any other things that need to be put on future agendas?
I'm trying to have the bylaws update for January. There was quite a bit that needed to be updated.
Also, just a note, we didn't go over the balance sheet.
What's in the accounts?
Well, normally Deborah goes over the balance sheet and it's usually done on the first. And that, we didn't, I guess we didn't do it on the first, so it was on the second, and we didn't mention that tonight, so.
Okay, so I would just ask that all the directors hold on to that and take a look at the balance sheet, make sure there's nothing weird that you see on any of our accounts. And if so, then you could bring that to the attention of the board and our bookkeeper at the next meeting.
And we also have the front desk oversight procedure. I think I have a note for next meeting also.
Okay, we need.
And when does the retention policy go on?
Well, that goes on the first meeting of it until it's gonna be done,
Okay.
so that'll
So
be
that'll
back
be on
on
the-
there,
Okay.
yeah.
Lots of stuff.
Okay, anything else?
Nope,
Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Yeah. Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Kelly, Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye, so this meeting is adjourned at 6:08 p.m.
And,
Thank you, everyone.
did you need a copy of the annexation? Did you make notes or did you need a?
No, that's